As you know, I'm Maya. I'm from Hillcrest Normal School in a Year 5 and 6 classroom. We have 6 classes in our syndicate, and at the beginning of term 2 we started out on what started out as something small, and as is always the case in classrooms, ends up becoming bigger than me. So that is the journey I'm going to take you on today. I recently became familiar with something, a quote from Derek Wenmouth, and he says that using ICTs to change the experience of learning, not as a delivery channel, which seems to be the theme happening today, which is great. And that connected really well with our own school philosophy, in that the learning comes first, not the tool. So, and that, as I said, seems to be something that I've heard a bit this morning. So navigating our way through this science and technology topic, we all agreed that it would be about flight, and we would concentrate on kites, and with the final result being that we would be making nylon kites, and we had an understanding that we could kind of veer off in our own direction from there. So I decided, since I hadn't had a lot of cultural focus in the class at that stage, that I would go down the social science route and learn about cultural kites, what they were used for. We started off in our ICT suite with a list of websites that I had previously searched and loaded up on my class website to save time, so that the children weren't Googling all sorts of strange things. And that was the basis of the research. They were going to collect that information, put this into a presentation of their own, and as my idea of that was inquiry at that stage. It was cross-curricular. We covered a whole lot of bases with that. Along with that, though, what happened kind of took me by surprise. I felt I had a very firm grip of the kite, and had control of the children, had control of what they were doing. I thought they were going to do an amazing job of their presentations. It was going to be all spectacular. And the children had different ideas for me. And from the research that I had found, and one of the websites that I found for them to research from was a wiki that somebody in America had created, where people would, classrooms would upload their information about kites. So it could be maths related, it could be cultural. And there was a map at the beginning of this wiki, and little bubbles were up showing where in the world these stories had come from, and little old New Zealand had nothing. And so they started asking, why has New Zealand not done anything there? Can we put something up there? And of course by this stage I was panicking, thinking, oh my goodness, where are we going with that? I couldn't let go of the kite. I was holding tight. The kids were telling me to push it further on. Why can't we do this? They started to question me. Why are we doing this? What are we going to be doing this for? Why can't we put some information up there about New Zealand? So, in effect, what they were doing is they were taking control of the whole unit, which was great because there's a whole change in direction. And from finding this wiki, the children wanted to make their stamp on the world map. They wanted to be heard. They then started asking questions about, well, do New Zealand have our own cultural kites? This is the road we ended up going down, that we ended up getting an expert to come and help us make them. We had to visit in Marae to make them on, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. By this stage we had school holidays, and I was still scrambling around trying to find a marae to go on to get these kites done. We had been in contact with the person who had started the wiki to find out how we get information on there, and the children were just running with it. From there we also had to learn about mind protocol, which was huge for us. The challenges for me was letting me let the kite go, letting the children have ownership of this, it becoming a true inquiry looking back on reflection. They were the ones who were asking the questions, finding out the information, pushing those boundaries, and taking us all on an amazing journey. I found trying to find a local marae really difficult, connecting those dates with the expert that was coming to help us. I had no idea how to make these kites. The children were really excited about being the only class in the whole syndicate who were not making the plastic kites. We were actually making them out of natural products, and that was a huge driver for them as well. Where we were going to get help from in terms of Māori protocol. I hadn't been part of kōwhiri for many years. I had one Māori child in my class, and that was a huge barrier, so we were able to find someone to come in and help us with that. But I think overall the biggest hurdle, and I know many of you will have found this in the past too, is the pressures it takes to find the time and the resources and with ICT. We have an ICT suite with 10 computers, and at that stage we had 6 iPads. I was in there for 45 minutes a week. I had 2 computers in my classroom. How were we going to collate the video that we took at the marae? How were we going to get the writing for the wiki up there? How were we going to get the photos done? That it just seemed like an impossible task for the resources that we had and the time that we had. Since then we have actually pictures for iPads, so that would have been helpful at that time. The outcomes for the school as a whole, I think, has been huge from this, and talking with our principal Irene, and that first and foremost it was a rich cross-curricular inquiry where every single child was involved 100%, right down to my South Korean girl who has only been in the country since June last year. We started looking at the wiki through a South Korean class who put things up about kites, had her on board straight away. It covered all of my learning styles in terms of the types of information they were finding through our ICT use. I think the biggest shift is that we have found that through ICT the students have moved from being consumers of information to being creators of knowledge. And if I had a camera there on the day that they finally saw the little bubble on New Zealand on our active board in the classroom, it was amazing. They were so proud of what they had done. They had created that, they had put information up there to share with the whole world. They connected with the world. And that was a big thing for them. They had done their research, found out from everybody else, and then someone was going to learn from them. The children were a lot more connected with their New Zealand culture and heritage. And from this, we've actually formed an ongoing relationship with Kirikiri Marae. They are visiting us on a weekly basis. We have plans for next year through that. So in 3 hours, we have done what our school has struggled to do for many years in terms of linking with our New Zealand culture. Where to next for the school? Our blog. That's right. Where to next for our school? We are going to continue to ensure that students actively involved in the use and selection of the ICTs, meaning they need to know what tool to use and when to use it, and be confident in doing that. Continue to upgrade our own equipment. We have upgraded our servers. We are now using Ultranet. We have a blended learning contract that we've started up, and we're just pushing along at the same rate that the children are wanting us to go, I guess. The thing I think that we found, and especially in talking to Irene about this, was that we actually not only pushed the classroom walls out, we tore them down. We opened ourselves up to the world and sharing our information, and that was really, really exciting for them. I won't show you the video because it will take too long, but this is a link to the wiki through our blog. We're still getting people from around the world. We're sharing our link around the world, so we're still getting people commenting and viewing that, so that's ongoing. So we have New Zealand has a little bubble, and that's what they saw in the classroom, and that's small things, you know, it was huge for them, so that was great. I think probably my final question for everybody here is to think about whether or not you're going to hold on to the kite, or whether you are going to let the kite fly and allow the children to take off with this and give them the scope and the knowledge that they can contribute to the world and not just receive the information.